Hello and welcome. I'm Sam from Oracle Drives and Automation, and we're here at the Northeast Automotive Expo in Sunderland. We have a huge automotive presence in the Northeast, all with industries such as Nissan and all of the supplying companies feeding into them. All of these guys need support. All of these guys keep the Northeast running and they keep the UK industry strong. Today I'm not going to stand here and talk about Oracle Drives and Automation, because we're here to talk about the industry leaders and how they're keeping everyone afloat. Although I must say we sometimes keep them afloat with our maintenance contracts, our support, our bespoke turnkey packages and our automation and drive systems. There's so many companies here to talk to. We're not going to be able to get through all of them, but we are going to speak to some of the industry leaders. We're here with James from Polymer Compounders Limited, and he's going to talk to us about the product. So he's a local company, he's in Durham, and he produces plastic pellets that essentially we see all the time in some of the extrusion processes. We are very familiar with this extrusion process, but not necessarily the production of the pellets themselves. So if you can give us a bit of information about the company itself.
Yeah, so we are Polymer Compounders and we're from Durham, so Meadowfield to be precise, Meadowfield Industrial Estate. And we are a huge supplier in the supply chain for the automotive industry, hence why we're here today. We supply a great deal of granules, so they can be specified from sort of more chromatic colours, to greens and yellows, to purples, to sort of like the blacks and things like that that are used in automotive vehicles. A good example is this. So this is a crash-tested PCABS.
Yeah.
So we manufacture this for the supply chain of Nissan. We also have manufactured this material. So this is a coloured ASA material which enabled Nissan themselves to reduce their emissions with like painting.
Yeah.
So this is coloured in plastic, so it's essentially moulded in colour is what I'm trying to say. So that starts life as this kind of material.
Yeah.
So this is the black granules for that.
So that's what we're usually familiar with. We usually see that coming into extrusion machines, getting processed and made into things like pipework, various blown films, things like that. But it's nice to see that there's a local firm actually producing the products. Is it recycled at all?
Yes, so as a matter of fact, we're actually doing 30% consumer recycle in all of the automotive stuff that we supply at the moment. So that involves a great deal of stuff regarding the chemistry as well, to make sure that it still meets the same rigorous crash tested requirements that it did before it had the recycle in. So there's a whole kind of process involved in that, so there's an R&D, there's been a whole project and R&D on that as well. But yeah, it's meant that sort of likes of Nissan's been able to reduce their carbon emissions by integrating recycled materials. Primarily it's in the sort of PCABSs that we do for them.
Yeah.
And so I mean circular economy and all that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So one of the big things is, you were talking about sustainability there. I think every company we're looking at the moment is going down the sustainability route. Recycling plastics, obviously plastic in general is pretty frowned upon in general, but we're looking to reduce the overall consumption of plastic, and recycling is probably the best way around it at the moment. So that's great. Thank you for speaking to us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's nice
No
to
worries.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Thanks for popping by.
The first company we spoke to was Sunderland City Council themselves. We've got some information that might be useful to you guys. If you're a small or medium enterprise, then there is business grants available. So one of the things we look at is energy savings. A big thing in the UK is reducing the energy costs of small businesses, large businesses as well. We provide control systems, drive systems that will all reduce the energy bill. We can come out, have a look at your systems, see where we can save you money. And things like local councils offer schemes where you can claim back. So after speaking to Sunderland Council, they have mentioned that you can claim up to 50% of the actual costs involved with this. So 50% is a huge saving. If you're talking about 30 grand's worth of outlay, your return on investment would have been maybe 2 or 3 years. It's now 1.5 years. everything in the world is going towards reducing energy consumption. Energy is one of the biggest costs to industry. Things like this are a huge help to small companies, and we can also give you advice. Come in, assess the situation, see how much you can save, and give you a price on what you can upgrade. On this stand, we're here with Norman. He's from Balluff, and he is the Automotive Key Account Manager for the UK. And he's going to have a bit of conversation about what the kit he's got on display here, and a bit of information that some of you guys might not know.
So today what we're trying to do is we're trying to present our range of industrial network and connectivity solutions, intelligent sensors and condition-based monitoring equipment. Over here we've got a range of Balluff IO-Link portfolio of products where we've got our IO-Link master connected up to an intelligent Balluff smart light back through intelligent IO-Link devices. The purpose of this equipment is to give more intelligence back to the end user. So we would have information coming back from these devices that would give them information about the actual pressure, the current, the voltage that's actually coming through the power supply. So to give an awful lot more intelligence back to the engineers so they can kind of act on what's happening. Over here, you'll actually see that we've brought in a condition monitoring toolkit. The condition monitoring toolkit is a standalone bit of equipment that can bolt onto any customer's machine. It's an edge gateway onto that which can be used on any customer's machine. So over here, we're just showing a particular sensor. It's called a Balluff condition monitoring sensor. It's a bit like a Swiss Army knife of a sensor. So we've got one sensor that can measure vibration, temperature, humidity and ambient pressure all in one. So you can plug one sensor back into the condition monitoring toolkit or back into one of our IO-Link masters. That information can then be displayed on any HMI, or you can extract that raw data and put it up into the cloud via MQTT, OPCUA and that type of thing. Balluff themselves are 101 years old. We're one of the biggest sensor manufacturers in the world, and we've basically got a really good range. So it's great to come to the Northeast Automotive Expo and show some of our equipment today.
So at this point, you were talking about this sensor, it's now displaying on here. Yep. Is this part of your system?
So this is basically, this is a Grafana platform which is you dial into the IP address of the actual condition monitoring toolkit and you can display this all this information. So you can set min-max levels. So if I basically give this a bit of a shake, you'll probably see that we've got spikes and vibrations. So that might go in a gearbox, a pump, or anything like that. And we'll give the information, give extra information back to the engineer. So the idea is to predict the unpredictable, predict before something falls over.
Yeah, so we've had that plenty of times in factories where we see conditions gradually getting worse, and being able to monitor them and actually action them before the failures is one of the key aspects of this. And I think it's something that's lacking in a lot of control systems in a lot of factories, the actual preventative side of things and preventative monitoring. So this sort of kit should be something that should go in every factory, I would say.
Yeah, as I said, we speak about the condition monitoring toolkit, but we even bring out sensors that have got built-in inclination as well, and also vibration analysis. So someone said to me the other day, why do I care if an inductive sensor or photoelectric is vibrating? You care because it's identifying if a bracket is coming loose. You're identifying a problem before it actually happens. But as well as all this fantastic kit, we've got the basics. Basic inductive sensors and photoelectrics. This is where we started from a long time ago.
Well, it was great meeting you, and thanks for speaking to us.
No problem.
So as this event draws to a close, we've had a great opportunity to speak to some of the local companies that keep the industry running. Hopefully we'll be able to support them in more ways than they realised. And that's what these kind of events are for. Not just a sales event, but a community event where we can get the local industries all together working as one unit.